Welcome to this session on the Collective Leadership Values Tree. The Collective Leadership Tree has been inspired by the classical work of Albert Einstein, one of my heroes from history. And it's been inspired through his theories on energy and its links with time, space and mass. As I was thinking about leadership and its values and how they're nurtured, it got me to think a little bit more about how nature operates, and the tree I think acts as a really good metaphor and certainly helps us to think through how the values of leadership can actually be nurtured to achieve the type of leadership style that we would want. So let's just think about the tree for a moment. It relies on a number of sources of energy to sustain itself: sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and nutrients from the soil. So obviously when it rains, the tree can absorb all of that water and turn that into its photosynthesis, and the same when the sun shines. So it's all of these external issues that help the tree not only to grow but to survive. The same applies to leadership, and the challenges that leaders face often relate to energy that's encouraged by values and how that's converted or transformed into appropriate behaviours in much the same way as the tree transforms those nutrients into its flowers and its foliage. So we can say that the values represent the underpinning context of leadership, or, to continue the metaphor, the roots of the tree. The behaviours of leadership represent its outcomes, or in the case of the tree, it's the foliage or the fruit, whereas the trunk represents the mechanisms for innovation or the distribution of the energy from the roots to the fruit. And we can align this to the practice of leadership. The outcome, which is represented by the leaves of the tree, rely upon the conversion of light energy into chemical energy through photosynthesis. If the leaves are not healthy enough to absorb sunlight, then photosynthesis will not take place and the tree is likely to die. To continue this brief analogy, if leadership behaviours, as outcomes, are unable to absorb the energy from transformational leadership practice, which we see as the mechanisms of leadership, then the underpinning values, the context of leadership, are unlikely to survive and leadership efforts are likely to fail. So the tree does act as a good metaphor, and we'll move on shortly and look at how the values of leadership can actually be developed using this metaphorical process. But we know in recent times that the economic crisis has put the issue of leadership very much on trial, and we need to confront the brutal facts of this reality. So we need to confront the dark side to leadership as well as developing new approaches. And the root of what is so often called a leadership crisis is often about the degeneration of values, where greed and self-interest can often overshadow shared values. Times of crisis require vision, courage and innovation, and values lie very much at the heart of this.